With an opening statement from Coach O'Sullivan, and then we'll open up the floor to questions for the student athletes. Coach?
First of all, I want to congratulate Army on a great season. Jim and his staff did an incredible job getting to this point, and I've known Jim for a long time, and he continues to win wherever he's at, so congratulations to them. As far as we're concerned, Jack gave us the start we needed. He got us deep into the ball game after having to go to the pen yesterday in the second. Got a lot of offensive production. We scored early, which I thought was important, gave us a lot of momentum. Kendrick obviously had a big day at the plate with 5 RBIs, and Will had a good day. Thought Brady McConnell had a good day, even though he didn't get any hits. He hit the ball hard quite a few times. So, all in all, it was a really good day for us offensively, pitching-wise, and defensively. So, we look forward to playing tomorrow.
Okay, we'll open up for questions to the student athletes. Please raise your hand. Bring the microphone. If you have a specific question for the student athlete, please indicate it.
Jack, what's your mindset? Obviously, it's an elimination game, and you know that the bullpen was extended. They needed to get 24 outs yesterday. What's your mindset before the start?
Yeah, just to try to go deep in the game and attack, and just get early contact. And I mean, I didn't really think anything of it because the elimination game. Because I threw in 3 of them last year, and Missouri was kind of like an elimination game too. And so it's just the same mindset of attacking every hitter.
This is for all 3 of the players. Was today's game what you guys needed after the way last night wrapped up, getting back positive momentum with a chance to play again tomorrow?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, if we lost the game, then we'd be done for the season. So our goal today was to come out on fire and just take it one game at a time, and we came out with the W today.
Yeah, I think the same. It's just good momentum, and the hitters have been doing great all year. So for us to pitch pretty good and limit their runs was good.
Yeah, I definitely think coming out, it really started with the pitching, and Jack set the tone, and hopefully, that creates momentum for the pitching staff, and helps them see, how to be more consistent, throw strikes to, help our defense stay more in the game, and then, our offense was exactly what it's been all year. So,
Kendrick, what has this been like, your first NCAA tournament experience?
At the end of the day, man, it's just baseball. It's nothing new. Whether it's postseason, whether it's regular season, you got to go out there and give it your all and continue to play hard.
Any more questions for the student athletes? All right, we'll excuse them and then open up the floor for questioning. Coach O'Sullivan.
Thanks, fellas.
Questions for Coach O'Sullivan?
After last night, did you have any talk with Jack before the game?
No, not at all. I mean, we kind of know where we're at. We talked more after tonight's game, to be honest with you. We obviously needed for Jack to go deep in the ball game, which he did, saved our pen because we had to go to the pen yesterday so early. And the message today was, Nick's going to have to do something similar to that tomorrow, which he's certainly capable of doing, to get us in the second game tomorrow. So, at some point, a bunch of these freshmen are going to have to contribute, whether it be 3 outs or 6 outs. Other than Nick tomorrow, and maybe if we're lucky enough to advance to the second game, the starter for the second game, everybody's just got to kind of contribute and just be consistent. So, but it's one game at a time at this point, and like I said, the way Nick's been throwing, I'm looking forward to getting him back out there.
And then Jack's been really good his last 2-3 starts. Is it anything different, or is it just the blister healed, his ankle's fine, just being healthy?
I think it has to do with probably a combination of things. He's healthy. Obviously, the blister was something that we just couldn't control, and it lingered for a long time. So when you take that much time off, obviously you get out of your rhythm. I think he's just starting to find his rhythm now. Obviously, he was one of our better guys last year at the end of the year. Like you said, he pitched in 3 elimination games in regional supers, and then obviously against Texas Tech in the World Series. So, it's good to have him back to form, but it's just taken a while because of the blister.
Coach, you had the short turnaround last night or the early game today. Now you've got the full night off. How much is that going to help you guys how much do you hope that helps you guys going into tomorrow where you've got the 2 games, but at least it's a full 24-hour cycle as opposed to a quick turnaround?
I don't know if a few hours makes that much of a difference. I guess playing a doubleheader would maybe have some sort of significance to it, but they're resilient. They're young. At this time of the year, you know, it's either play well or your season's over. So they're probably it's probably more of a rehydration thing more than being tired at this point, and that was something that was reiterated at the end of the game. So we'll see, but I'm sure they're enjoying, you know, the night off. That's for sure.
With you guys getting going again tomorrow morning, do you know who your starting pitcher is going to be?
Yeah, it'll be Nick Pogue. It'll be Nick Pogue.
And so, what have you seen out of Nick these last 3 starts? What's allowed him to kind of blossom late in the season for you guys?
Very similar to what, you know, Jack did today. He's got a slider that he developed. He's got a changeup. He's always throwing for strikes. He's kind of like Jack, where he's got the ability to throw 2 different off-speed pitches to right-handed hitters. You know, not many guys can throw their changeup, you know, to right-handed hitters very often and have it be a weapon. And he's been able to do that. So you got to honor both off-speed pitches. And he could pitch, you know, he's been, you know, had the ability to pitch to both sides of the plate with his fastball. You know, he's been able to limit the damage too, which some of the younger pitchers are still trying to figure out. So he's had 3 good starts in a row. So he'll start tomorrow, obviously.
Coach, when you have a frustrating game like last night where you feel like maybe if a couple pitches or breaks kind of go your way, all of a sudden you're in the winner's side, do you feel like those young guys, it's easier or harder for them to kind of move on and get to the next day?
I don't know. It's been up and down year for us that way. I mean, we came in the regional. I mean, this team is capable of doing one of 2 things. We could win a regional or be out in 2. That's the way we've been pretty much the whole year. We've been inconsistent, but there have been bright spots for them, a lot of the freshman arms, but it's just the ability to be consistent. That's been our issue. But at this point of the year, I mean, they're all going to have to contribute at some point because we put ourselves in a tough position having to win 4 games in a row. So we'll see.
Any more questions for Coach? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll start with an opening statement from Coach Foster, and then we'll open up the floor to questions to student athletes Josh White and Cam Ott.
Yeah, I'm proud of our guys. They just, 9-second lieutenants just finished their baseball careers. You know, there's a lot of tears, a lot of emotion going on right now, and I'm going to think about some really cool things they did today, and it's not about the scoreboard. You know, we didn't play very well today or yesterday, especially on the mound. We had a lot of trouble, throwing strikes and didn't make many good pitches. But you're going to remember Whitey hitting a bomb, and you're going to remember Matt Hudgens getting a base hit and 2 RBIs in his last at-bat, and you're going to remember all the positive things. So these guys are the best of the best. I've always said that. You know, they really are incredible to coach and be around. These seniors have done so much for the program, so much. I can't even tell you, not just on the field winning games, that's the least part of it. You know, the schedule they have, what they do in the classroom, what they do off the field, and just how good of people they are. And I'm blessed to coach them. You know, they're extraordinary people in a high-performance environment. And, we looked like we were running on fumes a little bit the last couple of days. I don't know why. But I want to thank everybody here at Texas Tech. You're unbelievable. You guys are incredible at what you do. What a great regional. Been to a lot of regionals. This is my 7th or 8th one, and you guys are the best. So unbelievable how you accommodated us and made us feel welcome, and how you treated these guys. Thank you very much.
All right, we'll open up the floor to questions for Josh and Cam.
Josh, obviously you probably wanted to end your career on a higher note, but could you have drawn it up much better outside of that when it comes to hitting a home run in your final game in the postseason?
Personally, yeah, that's a pretty cool way to go out. Obviously, like you said, we like to go out with the W, but, there's only about 30 guys who are ever going to finish with a W, So, glad to go out with the guys that I went out with, and, it was pretty cool.
Obviously the frustration was probably building up there, not having a hit. Did it just feel good? off the bat there?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, it felt great off the bat. It was one of the ones you don't feel. I was lucky. I got to see quite a few of his pitches in my first at bat, and so I just got a good one to hit and hit it.
And for both of y'all, what will you remember most when you kind of look back on your Army baseball careers?
Yeah, go for it.
You know, I think we would have liked to have, you know, done better in the regional, but I think kind of like Coach Foster said, we really enjoyed the hospitality of Texas Tech. But I think the most the moment I remember the most is being on the bottom of the dog pile against Navy to win the Patriot League championship and having all my teammates, you know, right above my face because I was closing the game and them yelling at me, and you know, I got punched in the face by someone's elbow and my mouth was bleeding and I had no idea it was, and everyone looked at me like I was crazy. But that was, I'd say, my favorite moment throughout the whole time. But I think it revolves around the teammates that I've had. You know, not really the baseball. It's more about the team.
Yeah, it really comes down to the people that we've gotten to meet and get to know, and you know, do life with for the last 4 years. And it's a huge blessing to be around these kind of guys every single day. And so we're just really thankful, I think, that we got to do it with them.
You guys are in a little unique position, and this is for both of you. Most seniors at this point, they're looking where their next job's going to be. They're looking minor league baseball, where they're going to get drafted. You guys have a completely different future in front of you. Do you guys know what the plan is for you guys when you have to report, where you're heading, anything along those lines, or do you have a couple of days to kind of soak in your final game?
Yes, sir. We've got all of our assignments set and everything. So I think a lot of us, July 23rd is first day. So yeah, it is a lot different than, you know, our peers and our friends that went off to play at different colleges, and but it's really exciting too. You know, we get to leave a great team and go join the greatest team. So we're really excited. But
yeah. So Josh is going to be an ordnance officer, and then I'm going to go try to learn how to fly helicopters in September. So hopefully everything happens, you know, safely, and none of those helicopters crash in the process. But I think. Yeah, so we're both really excited for that. I think that's kind of the overall mission of coming to West Point, and I think we're, you know, ready to do that. And I think baseball definitely builds the character that we need to serve the country. So,
for both of you guys, what do you think you guys were able to accomplish for Army baseball as a class, as a team?
Well, our first year we only won 16 games, so I think we did a pretty good job of rallying back, and we did some good things on the field, and you know, we kind of restored what the program had built up to before we got there, and so it was nice to be a part of something that you could, you know, be proud of as a program. But.
Yeah. I think the biggest difference is, you know, like in the Army and when we serve in the military, we're expected to win. You know, I mean, we don't go, you know, fight our adversaries and expect to lose. And I think that first year we kind of went to the field and we hope to win, which is not a good feeling as a baseball player. So I think the biggest adjustment that we've had is changing it from hoping to win to expecting to win. You know, I think we're getting to the point where we expect to win against the best, and you know, I think that's why we love the regionals so much, is because we get to play against the best. So.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Okay, we'll excuse them and then open up the floor.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thanks, guys. Thank you, guys.
Questions for Coach Foster?
Coach, when you think about and are able in maybe a month or two to kind of reflect on the season, what will you remember most about these guys and this team?
I'll probably think about how far they've come. You know, you should have seen those guys 2 years ago. You know, they've come a long, long way, not just on the baseball field but off the field. I didn't recruit them to West Point because I came over from Boston College 3 years ago. This is my third year at West Point, and didn't really know what I was getting into. Year one, it's like learning a new language, and it's made me much, much better as a coach and as a person being there. You step foot on West Point and you can feel the energy, the goodness. It's like going to the Army-Navy football game. You know, you step in it and it's a special atmosphere. You could just feel it in the air. And, you know, I'm just trying to get the baseball program where we can, you know, play at this level, compete at this level, but more importantly, you know, those guys being able to go do what they're going to be doing Like Cam Ops, he's going to be flying a helicopter. He's going to be flying an Apache or a Black Hawk in a couple years. He's very modest, but that's what he's going to be doing. His idol is Steven Reich. I don't know if you've ever heard of Steve. He was a teammate of mine with the Orioles, and Steve was killed in action. Have you seen that movie with Mark Wahlberg? You know the movie I'm talking about? Well, that's based on Steve and his story, lone survivor. He was a teammate. He was a great pitcher. Got a chance with the Orioles, but he flew Chinooks, and he flew on that mission. Google him, Steve Reich. I don't know if you saw the patches on our left arm, 160th Night Stalkers out of Fort Campbell and Fort Bragg. You know, we're going to be playing down there next year, Fort Bragg in Fayetteville. Look forward to playing in front of all the guys serving down there, and down in we're going to play against Austin Peay down there by Fort Campbell, and it's just a great feeling because it's pure. You know, it's genuine. You know, we're going to get some really good players in here, but we're never going to change. You know, just be appreciative of being part of something bigger than yourself. That's the number one thing. These guys have been great. It's taken it a long way, and hopefully we'll keep getting better on the field. But the foundation they've laid as far as, you know, doing it for the right reasons and just being gentlemen and doing a great job in the classroom. Everything a student athlete should be, that's what they are. So that's what I'm most proud of.
Coach, you've kind of touched on this, but just tell us a little bit about how you feel personally the responsibility of going out and representing the Army, you know, on a sports field.
Last year when we beat Navy, I got texts from overseas, you know, guys that are serving. They're in caves across the water and serving. That's when it hit me, you know, how big this was and what I'm a part of and what I should be doing and how I should handle myself. You know, it's not just baseball. It's you try and take a higher road and you know, really study what you're doing and just try and it makes you better is what I'm trying to say. You know, and you think about what they're doing for us and how selfless they are, and everywhere you go, everyone recognizes it and says thank you to the guys, and you understand there's a higher level of you have to hold yourself to a higher level, you know, of what you do, because they're leaders of character. That's what we're developing, leaders of character who are going to fight for our country, and they're always going to do the right thing. So I have to always do the right thing and be a good role model for them, and I just try and do that every day. And I know baseball. I can teach them baseball, but I want them to be, you know, great husbands and great fathers, and you know, they want to protect everybody and serve our country. So I'm just going to, you know, you try and take care of them the best you can, but you also have to push them really hard. So it's a fine line.
After losing the opener yesterday, you guys were already on the loser side of the bracket, knew you had to come out, and to have the kind of start that you did obviously had to be a little bit disappointing. But one of the things that really stood out about your team specifically was even when you were down 11-0, every single one of them was on the rail. Every single one of them was in tune, and they were cheering for each other. Like, all it would take is a single hit, and then you get the home run, which eliminates the no-hitter, eliminates the shutout, gets you guys back on the scoreboard. What was that feeling like in that dugout when that happened for that team, for this?
It was a great feeling. It's like a weight came off. Because one of the things with these guys, they try too hard sometimes. You know, in baseball, when you try too hard and you muscle up, it slows you down. I could just tell we were a step slow. You know, some of the balls that were hit, we were a little behind, and our bats were a little slow, and pitchers weren't loose, you know. So I spend a lot of time trying to get them to loosen up and play fast and play free. But, you know, when you're not getting hits, it takes, you know, we're not in the SEC playing the Big 12, you know, where they're seeing it every weekend. I think when you see it all the time, it's like when I got to pro ball, you know, you just elevate. You're either going to get used to it or you're not there, you know. And I think if they saw it every week, we'd do a better job with it. But, I mean, we saw Noah Song last week. He's 93, 97 with a wipeout breaking ball, you know. So It's not like we don't see velocity. I think it's more the atmosphere and trying too hard. You know, I've seen them do it before, and when they try too hard, it just doesn't happen, you know. So getting them to back off is something we always try and do. But I think they'll learn. They'll be better for it the next time.
Your team's had a lot to be proud of this season, winning the conference, making it to a regional. Are they going to remember beating Navy more than the other two?
Probably. You know, I would say that's up there, you know, for these guys, because they hadn't done it for a while, and they did it last year. They won the Star this year, and you know, won another championship at Navy. Both years are at Navy, so we want to beat everybody, but you know, that's a special rivalry because it's so big. You know, you got messages from guys and administrators and graduates, and there's a lot of people at West Point and in some big jobs around the country that it's a big game. So I was happy for these guys that they went and did that. They're probably going to remember that, and a few other big wins. You know, we had a good game against LSU this year. We had a walk-off against Tulane. We had a couple good wins last year. I think the win against NC State in the regional last year. You know, I think like Giovinco, the lefty who started for us, he beat NC State last year, and you know, I felt bad for him and Berggraf and Sam Messina. They're better than what they showed, but you know, that's baseball. That's life. You got to pick yourself up and go to the next thing. And they're great guys. They're going to do well, whatever they do.
Any more questions for Coach Foster? Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks for everything. Really appreciate it. You guys are the best. Thanks.